Hi, I'm Brandy Schillace, Research Associate in Public Engagement at the District Medical History Center and Museum down in University Circle. I'm here today to show you some of the forensic collection. This is the forensics collection of John George Spencer. He was a medical doctor here in Cleveland, actually got his MD at the age of 16. They wouldn't let him graduate because he was too young, so he went on and got a PhD instead, in Germany, in German. He came back and set up shop here in Cleveland to help the police solve crimes. He was head of the Medical Jurisprudence Department at Western Reserve University. But what he really did was use his forensic skills like an American Sherlock to help the police solve crimes. Was someone poisoned? Was that rusty spot really blood? He helped to solve several cases which the police had been baffled by, including the Kaiser case. The Kaiser case was all about, did a man poison his wife, or did she die of food poisoning? And Spencer spent a lot of time. This case went on forever. It became a media circus. In the end, it all came down to the woman's pancreas, which Spencer had kept and which he could prove definitively that it was bad oysters. Pro tip, if it's the 19th century and you live in Cleveland, oysters might not be a good idea. Some of the other things we have in this case, though, show just how medical this really was. Forensics started off with doctors being able to use medical equipment to solve crimes. Here we have some goggles. These goggles are very fancy lenses, but you occasionally saw them in lab work. And down here, the all-important microscope. These microscope slides actually come from the Spencer collection. If you weren't able to see things at the microscopic level, you'd have a much harder time deciding whether or not something was blood or merely some other liquid on the scene. In particular, he helped to solve the case of Aurelie. She was killed by her fiancé, and it was one tiny spot of blood on his collar that ultimately did the trick. We like to call this forensic medicine Sherlock and steampunk, partly because Sherlock's pretty popular these days, always was. And if you think about it, steampunk science, science fiction, forensics is right there using technology that was developed in medicine in order to solve crimes in the science of deduction, and it was happening right here in Cleveland, Ohio.